There comes a moment in life when we realize that much of our suffering is not caused by the world outside, but by the agreements we have made within ourselves. Don Miguel Ruiz, in the Four Agreements, offers us a path to freedom, a way to break the invisible chains that keep us trapped in fear, doubt, and limitation. These agreements are like guiding principles, and when we choose them consciously, they transform our lives. The beauty of this wisdom is its simplicity. We do not need to read endless theories or memorize complicated systems. We only need to embrace four powerful commitments that change the way we think, speak, and act every day. And before we go deeper into these life-changing agreements, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share it with someone who's ready to live with greater freedom and peace. The first agreement is to be impeccable with our word. Words are not just sounds. They are seeds planted in the mind of others and in our own hearts. If we speak with truth and love, we plant hope, strength, and clarity. If we speak with anger or lies, we plant fear and pain. Every time we open our mouths, we have the power to create or destroy, and this responsibility is the foundation of freedom. Being impeccable with our word means refusing to use it against ourselves as well. How many times do we repeat to ourselves that we are not good enough, not capable enough, not worthy of success? These are poisonous agreements that keep us small. When we replace them with truth and kindness, we shift our identity. Our word becomes a tool of creation, not destruction, and it shapes the future we step into. The second agreement is to not take anything personally. This may sound impossible at first, but it is one of the greatest sources of inner peace. When someone insults us, criticizes us, or rejects us, their actions reflect their own reality, not ours. If we absorb their poison, we allow their wounds to become our chains. But when we refuse to take it personally, we remain free, untouched by their storm. Think about how often we suffer not because of what people do, but because of how we interpret their actions. If someone ignores us, we assume rejection. If they speak harshly, we assume we are the cause. But the truth is, everyone acts according to their own agreements, their own struggles and beliefs. By not taking things personally, we break free from unnecessary suffering and step into serenity. This agreement also empowers us as leaders of our own lives. When we stop reacting defensively, we respond with clarity and strength. We no longer waste energy on battles that do not belong to us. We no longer carry the weight of other people's stories on our shoulders. Instead, we focus on our own path, steady and unshaken. This is not weakness, it is true power. The third agreement is to not make assumptions. Assumptions are traps that destroy trust, relationships, and peace of mind. How many conflicts arise not from reality, but from the stories we create in our minds? We assume someone is upset with us. We assume we know what they mean. We assume intentions without asking. These silent stories become prisons we build for ourselves. To break this chain, we must embrace the courage to ask questions and seek clarity. Instead of assuming, we speak. Instead of inventing, we verify. When we replace assumptions with communication, walls collapse, bridges appear, and relationships heal. Imagine how many misunderstandings could vanish if we simply asked, "What do you mean?" instead of believing the lie our mind creates. This agreement frees us from living in a world of illusions. Assumptions magnify fear, feed insecurity, and create conflict where none exists. But when we stop making them, we see reality clearly. We stop fighting shadows and start engaging with truth. This shift changes how we love, how we lead, and how we walk through life. The fourth agreement is to always do our best. At first, this may sound like a demand for perfection, but it is not. Our best is not the same every day. It depends on our energy, our circumstances, and our growth. Some days our best is strong and expansive. Other days it is humble and simple. The point is not to compare, but to give fully whatever we can in the moment. When we do our best, we silence regret. We no longer torment ourselves with what if or if only. We know that we gave all we could with what we had. This brings peace, because failure no longer defines us. Only effort does. Our best is not about outcomes, but about integrity, about showing up with presence and giving life our whole heart. Together, these 4 agreements form a shield against fear and a bridge toward freedom. When we are impeccable with our word, we create truth. When we do not take things personally, we protect peace. When we avoid assumptions, we embrace clarity. And when we always do our best, we release regret. Each agreement is simple, yet when practiced daily, they transform the way we live, love, and lead. The wisdom of the agreements lies in their ability to cut through noise. Life constantly tries to overwhelm us with complexity, with endless rules and conflicting advice. But these 4 principles are like a compass, always pointing us back to what truly matters. When we feel lost, we return to them, and they remind us of the simple truth. Freedom is not found in control, but in clarity. When we practice being impeccable with our word, our relationships begin to transform. Trust deepens, misunderstandings shrink, and our inner dialogue becomes supportive instead of destructive. We begin to inspire others not by force, but by example. Our honesty and kindness radiate outward, showing that words can heal and uplift, not wound and divide. By not taking things personally, we discover a profound strength. We realize that we do not need to fight every battle or prove our worth to anyone. Our peace is not dependent on their approval. This gives us resilience, a calm center in the middle of life's storms. We stop being prisoners of other people's emotions and start being masters of our own. When we stop making assumptions, life feels lighter. We open space for honest conversations and authentic connections. We no longer live in the shadows of imagined offenses. Instead, we build bridges of understanding. This not only heals relationships with others, but also frees us from the exhausting burden of carrying imaginary problems in our hearts. Doing our best is the agreement that ties them all together. Without it, the others remain ideals. With it, they become living practices. Each day we wake up and ask ourselves, what is my best today? And when we give it, no matter how small or large, we know we are walking the path of integrity. It is not perfection, but presence that defines greatness. The agreements are simple to understand, but challenging to live. Old patterns resist, doubts whisper, and habits pull us back into fear. But every time we choose an agreement, we break another chain. We prove to ourselves that freedom is possible, that we are not condemned to repeat the same mistakes forever. Transformation is built in small, consistent choices. This wisdom is timeless because it does not depend on culture, technology, or era. Human beings have always struggled with gossip, ego, assumptions, and regret. These 4 agreements cut directly into the heart of that struggle. They are not theories, they are practices. And when we practice them, we become living examples of clarity, peace, and strength. Imagine how different our world would look if more of us lived by these agreements. Families would be stronger, workplaces would be healthier, friendships would be deeper, leaders would serve with humility, communities would trust with honesty, and individuals would walk with dignity. The agreements are not just personal, they ripple into every corner of society. We must also remember compassion when we fail. None of us will practice the agreements perfectly. We will sometimes speak words we regret, take things personally, or assume what is not true. But if we return to the path, doing our best again, growth continues. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. Forgiveness keeps us moving forward. Over time, practicing the agreements feels less like effort and more like freedom. Our words naturally align with truth. Other people's actions lose their power over us. Our minds stop inventing battles that never existed. and our hearts find rest in knowing that each day we gave our best. What once felt like discipline becomes our natural way of living. The 4 agreements remind us that freedom is not something given, it is something chosen. Each agreement is a choice: to speak with integrity, to guard our peace, to seek truth, to give our best. And every time we choose them, we move closer to the life we dream of. The chains loosen, the weight lifts, and our spirit rises higher. This is why these teachings continue to resonate across the world. They do not belong only to philosophy or spirituality, they belong to everyday life. They meet us in our conversations, our relationships, our workplaces, our struggles. They remind us that greatness is not in what we achieve, but in how we live. Simplicity, discipline, and love become our true achievements. So let us choose today to embrace these 4 agreements, not as distant ideals, but as living commitments. Let us walk together with words that heal, hearts that are steady, minds that are clear, and hands that always give our best. And if this message has touched you, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share it with someone who is ready to live free. Together we rise,